All right, July 24th trade recaps and opportunities. All right, in the morning we put in bearish SMT. We sold off really hard here. Or was it? Wait for it to load. Here we go. At this inversion, at this 1 minute inversion, I did get in on a short. I did get in on a short targeting this low. Now, eventually it did hit. I believe I took it off in this area. So if I held through, I would have hit full TP. But when it randomly started reversing like that, I'm not gonna lie, I got scared and I got out of it. But I should have just trusted in my model and it would have been fine because we have liquidity sweep SMT inversion. That's the model. If I just held it through, I would have been fine. But right after that, we get another liquidity sweep SMT. We get smaller time frame. We get baby SMT at the bottom. We also get this inversion right here. Hold on. We also get this inversion right here. And then I was able to get an entry in here for longs. I placed stop down here. It wasn't the greatest feel because yes, there's a chance it pulls back to the BPR, but I went ahead and took entry, and I was kind of targeting. I'm not sure because I was originally targeting internally and then here, but then I decided we could maybe go externally. I know I took it off when it kind of started. I believe I took it off in this area. But this was my main big trade of the day. So AM session was pretty clean today. I liked all the setups in the AM session. It was pretty good PA in my opinion. Okay, and then PM session. Now, after that trade, I was done for the day. At least on my XFA. I do, if I have the opportunity, I like to trade PM session with my evals, but I also need to try trading PM. Well, I also need to get used to PM session because once school starts in about a month, I won't be able to trade AM pretty much at all. So I'll only be able to trade PM. So I like to find some PM setups. Okay, so we had SMT at these highs. I remember we were putting in a good amount of SMTs, like here and in here somewhere. And I kept on trying to short on my evals. I couldn't get anything good, kept on getting stopped out, but we finally got a good entry like up here. And then we invalidate, but this fair value gap kept holding. So you definitely could have taken something at this inversion to go short. And I'm gonna be honest, like I would be targeting this internal low right here. And quite honestly, I would have either taken it off when I saw all the reversals, or by the time it came down here, I definitely would have put my stop to break even. And I definitely would have been stopped out for break even, unless I just completely wasn't paying attention to the trade. Then obviously I would have hit full TP. But yeah, it all depends. Because if I make money during the AM, then I'm more conservative during PM. But if I'm only trading PM, then I'll be a little bit more risk on, if that makes sense. So quite honestly, unless I took this trade in real time, which I didn't, I don't know how I would treat it. But I believe more than likely I would have probably been stopped out for break even. And then this is actually, in my opinion, the greatest PM setup of the day. We've had actually great PM. We've had great AM session and PM session price action this whole week. I feel like PM has actually been really. PM's always solid in my opinion. I feel like typically PM always does pretty well because if AM doesn't have a trade, PM likely will. If AM does well, PM will likely do somewhat decent as well. So it's not a big deal if you purely trade PM. But yeah, we did sweep out this low, and we have higher time frame PD array too. I believe. Let me find this area again. Snap, where is it? Oh, over here, sorry. Yeah, this is a 5-minute fair value gap, also lined up with the 1 minute. Hold on, this will load. Internet is literally shutting down on me right now, making me look like a dumbass. And yeah, we also have the 1 minute that holds, and then we also get an inversion on the 1 minute. Honestly, this is a fine entry. If you want to place stop at this low and you want to target the internal high, that's fine as well. Again, I believe if I did take this trade in this at the 1 minute inversion, might have been stopped out for break even again. I'm not sure. But, or if you get a pullback, because we don't know if market even pulls back anymore, this would have been a fine entry, would have been even better. But if you actually zoom out to the 5 minute, in my opinion, it's honestly clearer. I'm gonna just get rid of all this stuff. I feel like there's a lot going on. There's a 5 minute inversion right here. Okay, so, and then obviously you would have this fair value gap to keep in mind. That's why I was targeting internally. But there is actually a 5 minute inversion here. This could definitely be taken like this. Obviously I didn't take this, but I really like this setup. It looks pretty good. I like this. I think if you played it internally, that's fine. If you played it externally, obviously it hit. And yeah, so PM session was good. I mean, this kind of little short area was around 12. This was around 12:30. And then honestly, up here was good too. I did try something in here, I believe. This, we put in this high liquidity sweep, and this was also Asia high that hasn't been swept, and we also swept this high as well that we put in, and we also made equal highs at all-time highs on NQ. So I was looking at this as a possible setup later, again for my evals. And then when we got this inversion, I did actually take an entry. And obviously I got stopped out pretty quick at this inversion. But hold on. Okay, so but yeah, I did get stopped out pretty quick on my eval, but this actually just put in SMT. So quite honestly, if you're trading PM, if you count equal highs as SMT, this counts as SMT. Actually, is it angled down slightly? It might be angled down slightly. I can't tell. No, it's definitely equal highs. But yeah, I count equal highs as SMT. Some people do, some people don't. And then this just puts in SMT, and then you could definitely give this another shot at, I guess, these inversions. Maybe there's a 2 minute. I don't know about something. Yeah, you could definitely give this another stab, and it would have definitely played out perfectly. And this would have been something that you could have taken at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Then also this down here, after we sweep this, great rejection. Oh, sorry. Great rejection. We come up, we get inversion again. Liquidity equity sweep inversion, you could enter here. Was it the inversion candle would be up here? You can enter anywhere up there. Stop at the inversion low. Again, you could target this. You could target for SMTs. I like the bodies. And again, this is a trade at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I think there was opportunity throughout all day, and obviously after we sweep this high, we just dump again. So there was opportunity everywhere today. Now, there's typically opportunity. Typically, if you do trade, you'll find opportunities during AM and PM, but I don't think I've ever seen this many opportunities. But it was honestly super good. Normally you'll probably see like 2 opportunities each session, AM or PM, but today I feel like there was a lot. A little longer video since there were so many, but yeah. All right, see you.